5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hello everybody, welcome once again to another edition of Wet Boxing 101 with your host Luis Trevino, coming to you by the way of Warriors Edge Boxing Gym Promotions on this Thursday, December 26th, as we bring you our very last episode of 2019. It's been a good ride. This is actually the 38th episode of Warriors Edge Boxing 101 podcast. And we're excited to bring you the end of the year awards because there's so much things to talk about. So much stuff happened in 2019 in the world of boxing. So we're excited to talk about boxing, right? We're excited to talk about who made Fighter of the Year. And folks, let me tell you, the list that we have, for example, Venue of the Year, Fighter of the Year, we've done our research, we've done our homework. We looked at ESPN, the rankings, we looked at ringside rankings, and we all came together here at the gym. And we decided. So the panel of the day for the end of the year awards is none other than heavyweight pro fighter Mr. Herman Delgado will be on hand. And also Louis Aguilar Anello, former pro coach and gym owner of the infamous Pound for Pound gym, will also be on the show today. We're going to start the watch party in a little while. But we'll be talking about it as well. So I brought the big dogs in the house to share some light on this. And if you guys want to comment, of course, don't forget to please comment on our live chat. We're on Facebook Live right now at our watch party, starting the watch party right now. And we're also on YouTube for audio. So we got a lot of big things coming for 2020, guys. As far as the podcast, we've improved our podcast tremendously. We have we're probably going to start switching to Spotify so people can hear us on the way to work in your cars, and not just YouTube, right? Because it's a little bit harder on YouTube. But a lot of things coming. We got camera live feeds coming in 2020, and of course we got more fans and talking about more of the amateur world too. That's the gear, because remember we got the El Paso Golden Gloves coming, and we need to talk about that. And talk about other events coming as well, like January 11th in Las Cruces, the Slugfest in Las Cruces. So I really want to talk a little bit more about amateur, about our kids that did so well in national. So it's not just pro, it's all around. So even before we start the party, like I was telling you about the end of the year awards, this is our opinion, guys. Whether it pisses you off or not, I don't give a shit. But this is what we thought. That's why I brought the guys that know boxing and what they thought. I mean, this makes it fun. Remember, this is all for fun. All right, Venue of the Year, Broadcaster of the Year. It just made it fun to get started. So, we are going to talk about boxing, what's been going on. And you know what, folks? There's a lot of boxing left in 2019. Boxing is still far from over. It's hard to believe that boxing is still hard from over, man. It's still fresh in 2019. We just went live. Lou, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And we got Herman. Herman, welcome to the show.
What's happening, boxing public out there?
So we got our panel of they've done the research and the homework on what's going on. So, folks, like I told you, we have a lot of boxing going on still in 2019. It all starts Saturday in France. Champion Ernest Golgamina defends his WBA against Bejarano. I don't know these guys, but it's a WBA cruiserweight title. And then later on that day in Atlanta, the big fight, Gervonta Tank Davis, 22-0, takes on Yorgos Gamboa for the vacant WBA lightweight belt And also on the undercard, we got the light heavyweight champion Joan Pasquale defending against Badu Jack. Folks, let me ask you something, Lou. I'm going to go with you first. Do you think it's, so late in the year, holiday season, that's weird having a fight so right after Christmas. Does that affect the fighter?
I don't think so. It depends on the fighter. If he's disciplined, I don't think it affects him.
No.
They're just going to miss out on a little bit of food. But I think, they're not. I don't think it affects them if you're disciplined.
You think
Of
Tank
course.
Davis is a disciplined fighter?
I think he's very disciplined.
Yeah, you think he's going to win that fight?
I think that's a toss-up. That's going to be good. I'm going to go with Gervonta Davis.
You
Over
think because
Gamboa's
Gamboa
good.
is old already?
He's older. He's not as active. So I think that's what's going to affect him, his inactivity.
His inactivity?
Yes. Because he fought Terrence Crawford the last fight, and he put up a good fight. He got stopped.
Yeah. Got stopped.
But
and then there's rumors about Tank Davis wanting to fight Ryan Garcia, huh?
yeah, I think he'll beat him.
You think you'll beat him?
Yeah.
Yeah. Herman, what do you think about that fight this Saturday?
I'm not even gonna watch it. To be honest with you, I haven't been following with too much of the boxing nowadays. It's gotten to the point where it's a turnoff watching some of these professional fights.
Why's that, Herman?
Because I think De La Hoya has put his hand too much into it, and
True.
he's the Mexican Don King, and it's just pathetic now. I don't even watch it. I really don't, unless it's a good fight or, that's a big fight that's publicized. That's the only way I'll watch it. Other than that, if you throw me some names out there, I couldn't even tell you who the hell they are.
Wow. Well, nevertheless, there's a lot of boxing going in 2019. And maybe Fight of the Night is around the corner. Fighter of the Year is around the corner.
I agree with Herman, though. De La Hoya's kind of affected boxing.
Do you
lately.
really believe so, man?
I think so. Oh, yeah.
In what way?
Just take a look at Canelo.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fights that he's lost, and they've picked him. Look at what the judge. They investigated her, and
What judge?
Bird,
Adelaide Bird.
Adelaide Bird.
On the last, it was
Yeah.
a Canelo Triple G fight.
Yeah, and it was. When Canelo fought Mayweather, she gave them a draw. When Mayweather whipped his ass the whole fight.
But do you think that's so? And if you're gonna ask me, and this is what it's all about, right? We're having our opinions. I think De La Hoya has kind of saved boxing in a way, don't you think?
No.
You think Eddie Hearn's the next De La Hoya?
If you look at all the promoters, right, Herman, you'll see Hearns doing the same. Everybody's taking care of their fighters.
Yeah.
Everybody's looking out for themselves and their fighters.
Do you think that's a smart thing?
It could be smart, but people don't want to see
for
that.
them it is.
Yeah.
For them it's great for them. But the fighters, you got guys that are fighters, and it's like they're not the ones that are capitalizing on all this money. It's look
The
at
promoters.
another thing with I don't like about now with the boxing weighing in twice. Come on, man. That's ridiculous.
Ridiculous, right? Well,
We're not
De La
amateurs.
it's not De La Hoya is the money person for these fighters, right? He has Ryan Garcia. He has some good staple of fighters. You think he'll ruin Ryan Garcia?
Oh, they're both unhappy. Him and Canelo are
Yeah.
both unhappy already. So that kind of and I think he's paying them less than the other promoters are paying him.
Now that we're in the Canelo topic, do you think Canelo? He vacated the 170 belt, I believe. He let it go. Do you think that was smart? I thought he should have stood it that way because that's where he belongs.
He should have stayed.
Competitively.
I personally think he let go of the belt because who's he gonna fight? There's good guys that
Bivol?
are. Yeah.
Yeah, there's
He's not
guys
gonna
that
fight
there's
those guys.
guys at 170 that'll whoop his ass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not some old man. You got Don Ramon in the ring with him. Come on, man, get real.
Yeah, you have Bivol there.
Yeah.
You have maybe Smith, one of the Smith brothers, right? Is it
Yeah.
Caleb?
But he's gonna have to fight those guys. So the best thing
he's
for
gonna
him
go
would be-
down.
Yeah, he's going down.
Right. Also, we're going to talk about this guy, Sergey Devchenko, sorry. And he gave Triple G a run for his money, and he's been also thinking, hey, why don't we put Canelo? You think Canelo will fight one of these?
Well, he turned that fight down
Canelo
because it was supposed to be him, the mandatory for the WBO,
and they turned it down.
and Canelo turned it down, and that's when he moved up.
Why do you think they turned it down?
Didn't you see him fight Triple
Yeah,
G?
of course. And that's going to be one of our candidates for Fight of the Year. So before we get into one of the first topics that we have is venue of the year, and we'll get into the boxing stuff, but we'll get into the venue of the year. One of my personal things is, as a fan, is watching fights in great arenas, even on TV. One of our nominees was the Star Center in Frisco, Texas, which has only hosted one fight or two.
Frisco?
It's been the Earl Spence fight.
Earl Spence.
It's an outdoor venue. I like outdoor venues. It seemed pretty good. I mean, probably people don't like it because it's the home of the Dallas Cowboys training facility. And right now there's a lot of Cowboy fans in suicide observation. So we had that. We had the Durai Arena in Saudi Arabia, right, which hosted the big Reese Joshua Part 2. Promises to be one of the future events. I didn't like that one because it's out of town. It's overseas. It's in Saudi Arabia. I don't know. It didn't sit well. I heard it was one of the best architects out there that would do this. I don't know.
They built the arena just for that fight.
They built the arena, and they're going to keep it for more fights. Do you think fighting overseas like that is good for the fighters, American fighters?
I mean, if they go there and they get acclimated to the weather and the climate, and I think it's okay. But
Herman, you went to Germany to fight Vitaly Klitschko, correct?
Yes.
How did you get acclimated? Was it way different? Did it affect you in any way?
Well, I only had one day to recover, so I got there, and by the time I got to the weigh-in, I was fighting that same night, so it was tough.
You didn't even have time
To do to get set to rest. I didn't get time to rest or anything like that. It was just one day event. I got there. I slept, and then the next day the fight was there. So I didn't. To me it was like I was still on time here in the United States. So
and I know Andy Reese got to Saudi Arabia 2 weeks before just to get acclimated. So that was one of the venues. Did you guys like those venues?
I didn't like the Saudi Arabia one.
Why was that?
I don't know. It's not like here in the United States. I think it was just different. You could tell
it's like when you watch the football games or when they go overseas and play in London. It doesn't have the same flavor.
You're right.
It's a whole different world out there. Like when I fought in Germany, there's no booing. They announce you're the opponent. You come in and it's like a golf clap.
And you look at the crowd; they almost look bored.
Yeah,
everybody looks
like,
bored.
You got all these people in tuxedos and stuff. It's not like here you got, hey man, we're here to watch the fight. The blue collar worker. No, you got all these high class people out there, and they're just there because it's all about money.
It's all about money. Well, we're on our Facebook Live at the venue, and you know what? The last venue that we picked was the O2 Arena in London. It's on the screen right now. I picked that one as the main show. I know the UK fans have been going crazy. They're big boxing fanatics, and that arena is the cream of the crop. Louis, what did you think?
I picked O2 Arena because you get 100,000 people in that arena, and everybody's cheering and drinking.
And they're singing what song?
Time. Here we go.
Or
Ricky
Sweet Caroline.
Yeah.
Right, so do you have the O2 Arena, Herman?
Yeah, I got it. I didn't pick any of these arenas. I picked anywhere in Las Vegas.
Oh, that's right. Anywhere in Las Vegas.
There's nowhere, to me, you can say it doesn't read, these places don't read boxing. It's sort of like Madison Square Garden. You can't compare any other venue anywhere in the world to Madison Square Garden or New York or Atlantic City or Las Vegas. It's just, boxing is boxing in those towns.
He's right. Everybody wants to fight at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
It's like you made it when you fought there.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the mecca of boxing. It didn't make the list, but we all were, some of us agree it was the O2 Arena. It's on my screen. That made the venue of the year, right? Hopefully, the venue of the year in the future will be the Sun Bowl in El Paso, Texas. If you were to pick a mega fight here in the Sun Bowl, Lou, I'm gonna go with you first, Louis. Who would you want to come to make a mega fight here in El Paso? The Sun Bowl fits perfect. How many people sit the Sun Bowl?
Well, they already did, didn't they? When
De La Hoya.
No, not De La Hoya. When they brought
Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. against Andy Lee.
You brought that guy that fights out of Mexico. I don't even know his name. The quitter.
Chavez Jr.
Yeah.
He fought Andy Lee.
Andy Lee at the Sun Bowl.
At the Sun Bowl.
It didn't even hit. I think 20,000 people.
No, not even.
So if you were to have a mega fight in venue here, which fight would you like to see at the Sun Bowl?
Damn, that's pretty hard. I would like to see the Triple G and Canelo, but with
Part
clean
3.
judges.
Part 3.
Yeah,
Well, that's going to be hard. Texas has often been criticized for their judging and refereeing, right?
Yeah.
So, I would any fights you would want to see at the Sun Bowl maybe in 2020?
No, I was excited that had Reese done good because, man, can you imagine having that guy here in El Paso? He would have brought in all of Mexico would have been here.
Yeah.
And
Hey,
That was a big disappointment.
yeah, big dis.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. Let's get something squared away about Andy Ruiz. He's a Chicano. He's not a Mexican.
he's a
People don't
Mexican
understand.
American, or
He's
American
a-
Mexican.
Yeah, he's Chicano el vato.
So let me ask you a question. On the last fight, they played the national anthem for Mexico. Do you think that was right? Why would they play the Mexican anthem?
I don't know. I guess he's trying to make a political statement. That's the way I look at it.
I think he's just trying to win over the Mexican
Yeah,
fans.
exactly.
That's
Look
where
at
they
De La
pay the
Hoya.
money.
De La Hoya couldn't do it. He tried to do that try to have two citizenships. The Mexican people, I don't care who you are, they're not going to buy into. You were born here in the United States, you're not welcome there. Well, you're welcome there with your money,
Oh,
but
strong
they
words.
don't want you there. I mean, you're not Mexican. That's the bottom line. I'm a Chicano and I'm proud of it, and that's all there is to it.
We'd like to say hello to Raul Prieto. He's watching live.
You know.
What's up, Raul?
Oscar Castillo, Jaime Palacios, and the legendary Zurdo Garcia, Mr.
Ruben.
Ruben.
Mr.
He
Garcia.
says Feliz Navidad y un fuerte abrazo para Louis Herman, también para toda la familia Treviño, su amigo Ruben. Ruben, muchos saludos para usted. Y yeah, you know what, guys? Happy holidays. Merry Christmas to you
Merry
guys.
Christmas.
I just forgot that yesterday was Christmas.
Yeah, thank you. I want to say congratulations to Ruben.
Why?
Ruben did a hell of a job.
Oh yeah, that guy's an awesome trainer. The best for me in El Paso.
Yeah.
And it's sad that we've had the Hall of Fame here in El Paso. We've had, and it was strong back then. And Ruben never made the Hall of Fame. He's not in the Hall of Fame, and I don't know how either. Politics?
Yeah, that has a lot to do with it.
I mean, you know what? If and again, I've always said, if there was always a Hall of Fame, and there is, and we're gonna fight for a Hall of Fame better structured, he would be the top candidate.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
If murals are gonna be painted, in El Paso about fighters, it should be Ruben should be on that mural
Ruben and Mr.
downtown.
Mata.
And Mr. Mata is
Mr.
there on the
Mata.
mural. He's there. He's
No,
on the
he's
mural.
not.
Yeah, he is.
Well, the thing about that mural, they charge you $400 to put your picture on there.
Really?
Yeah, I'll make that clear because I remember when I got it into the Hall of Fame in 2004, they wanted $400, and I said no. And Dr. Schuster was going to pay it for me, and I said, "You're not going to pay nothing, Doc. I don't want my picture of it, not for $400."
Not for $400.
No.
Jaime Palazzo says, "Merry Christmas, my brothers."
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Moving right along, so let's see what's making headlines before we get into our fighter of the year. That's where we're going to be going to and gearing for. Mikey Garcia is in the news again, and he's going to be fighting Jesse Vargas. That's going to be right around the corner, February 29th. The 4-division world champion Mikey Garcia is staying at welterweight. Garcia takes on former 2-division champ and the hard-hitting, and I think he's going to be a hard test for him. Interesting test, Jesse Vargas, and it's going to be at the Star Center at the Star in Frisco, Texas, on DAZN, and you can also catch it on Sky Sports. Mikey Garcia said he's very ecstatic, very happy to announce his fight, and it's going to be, again, he just signed with DAZN, so
One time, one deal.
one time, one deal. Was it one fight only?
Yeah, one fight only.
One fight only. Why do you think just one fight?
Because he's smart.
Why do you think he's smart? Maybe he's going to test out the waters?
Because he can go with whatever promoter he wants.
So do you think that being streamed like that, it's better for the fighter because more people see, I thought De La Hoya was smart in doing that.
Well, De La Hoya fought with Top Rank most of his career.
No, what I mean as a promoter now,
as a
putting his
promoter?
fighters on his own.
Not all of them though. He just has Ryan Garcia and Canelo.
Okay, good, interesting.
But they're having problems.
There's having problems.
Yeah.
Jesse Vargas, Mikey Garcia. Well, who do you like there, Herman?
I'm going to take Vargas on that one.
Wow, why Jesse Vargas?
I just think he's a lot better fighter. That's the way I look at it. I think he is. I don't know. It's tough to call those fights like that because they're both good fighters. But I'm going to have to go with Vargas on that one.
What do you got, Louis?
I'm going to go with Mikey. It's going to be a very tough fight. And Herman's right. It's going to be tough because Jesse Vargas is way bigger than Mikey. He's used to that weight. So we're going to see how Mikey handles. I mean, he did okay with Errol Spence. I mean, he got beat up pretty good.
Yeah, you're right.
But let's see. Jesse Vargas is not Errol Spence. I think
Not.
he's going to try to make Mikey bang with him.
And he probably has a blueprint after seeing the fight against
Yeah.
Errol Spence. Jesse Vargas says it's a big fight for fight fans. We are giving them what they want to see, and he is. He's a warrior. They're both warriors. And Vargas says he needs to show that he needs to show the world that this is going to be a great night for boxing, right? So it'll be interesting. It's good to kick off 2020 with a fight like that on DAZN. Like I used to call DAZN the pay-per-view killer, even though you still pay for it. Spence made an appearance at the last fight last week, Spence Jr., Earl Spence Jr. finally breaks his silence on the horrific accident he had that took place October 10th. The WBC and IBF welterweight champion Earl the Truth Spence has been lying very low. As a matter of fact, I thought that since we hadn't heard from him, I thought something might be up with him. That he was not going to come back. The official statement on Spence's condition was that he did not sustain any broken bones, only some facial lacerations, and it showed. Some, including promoter Bob Arum, said he's going to make a full recovery. It was Spence made an appearance on Harrison Charlo 2 on Fox. What do you think of that, Louis?
I think he's going to come back. I mean, nothing was broken, but I think he's going to come back with a easy fight. There's no easy fights, but not a Terrence Crawford. He's not going to fight any of those guys.
But he was ready for them, huh? Before the accident,
I think he was.
He was ready for that. So Earl Spence is making a comeback also in 2020. Maybe a tuna fight. Who knows who they're going to put? I don't know. Maybe it'd be robbery of the night. Speaking of robbery of the night, what is your selection of robbery of the night for the 2019? We picked two of them. The nominees are Triple G, Gennady Golovkin versus Sergey Derevyanchenko. Damn. Derevyanchenko. You said it so quick, man. And Jaime Munguia versus Dennis Hogan. I personally saw the fight. Let's go to the Triple G fight. Triple G had the flu, very sick. Okay, I'm going to make excuses for him. And he struggled with the hard-hitting Derevyanchenko. What do you think of that fight?
I like Jaime Munguia got robbed.
So we go back to the Dennis Hogan.
He got.
Well, let me go back. Did you see the Triple G fight?
Yeah, I saw
What did you
that
think of that fight?
It was a close fight.
That was a close fight.
But Triple G hurt him. They was going back and forth, and they gave him a split decision, right?
Yeah,
split decision. It wasn't like the other one where Hogan clearly got robbed.
Well, the other nominee was Jaime Munguia versus Dennis Hogan. Who is Dennis Hogan? And we were talking about that earlier before we started the show that, Jaime Munguia lost the fight. You think Jaime Munguia lost the fight because he's still young and they just want to press him into the limelight?
Yeah, I think that's what it is with him. I mean, he's a young fighter. He's got a lot of years ahead of him. So,
do you think Jaime Munguia will need a better trainer?
Well, he has Eric Morales, I think.
Really?
Yeah, Eric Morales is training him.
Well, I mean, Eric Morales, as always said also, then, fight inside, fight out. He's a true Mexican warrior, so maybe that helps Munguia. But Munguia clearly lost the fight. So our robbery of the night will be Jaime Munguia versus Dennis Hogan. That'll be our robbery of the night. Anything that you guys think? No, that was it, right? How about female fighter of the year?
I picked Clarissa Shields.
Clarissa Shields, the United States middleweight. The nominees were Katie Taylor from Ireland, lightweight, Cecilia Brakius from Norway, welterweight, and Amanda Serrano from Puerto Rico, super flyweight, that was close.
That was close.
Very good. I'm going to go with Clarissa Shields. Herman, do you have any takes on that?
I'm going to go with Serrano. Clarissa Shields, I mean, she proved herself in the amateurs, but when you got two professional fights, especially, and then you start calling yourself the greatest of all time, it's like, give me a break, man. Come on. You got two fights under your belt.
Two fights. Clearly, I think I'm going to pick Clarissa Shields because she made a pathway into the Showtime venue, into the broadcasting as the first female to even be in a co-main event and also in a main event. And then other females follow, like Katie Taylor on DAZN and all that. But I think Clarissa Shields, just because of the fact, you're right, Herman, of the two fights. But clearly Clarissa Shields because of clearing that. She's a hell of a fighter, like a guy. Yeah. She hits hard, even though she's been knocked down before. She just cleared the path for television networks to pick up more female fights.
And I like the fact that they're going 3 minutes now. The females are going 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And they're exciting. Amanda Serrano was not my close second. Mine was Katie Taylor. She has all the belts. Even though in one of her last outings, I believe she lost against Pearson. She's also a cop. So I believe she lost. But she gained him, and that was in the undercard of the Joshua Reese fight. Moving right along, so we've talked about the robber of the year, female fighter of the year. What about the Excellence in Broadcast Award? Like a fan, I'm talking like a fan, I like broadcasting. as you can tell. I like a good produced boxing show. See, I'm not fighters like you guys. I'm a fan. And clearly, I miss the good old days of HBO, Jim Lampley, Max Kellerman,
Larry Merchant,
even Emmanuel Stewart, Jim Gray was up there. Good fighters. Now in the zone, clearly, my God, they're horrible announcers, man.
You got guys basketball superstars talking about boxing. Give me a break, man.
Right?
Come on.
I remember 24/7 HBO. Remember?
Oh, that was the
24/7. That was awesome. Produced show about the fighter's life and what they went through before a fight, et cetera, et cetera. Now they don't have that anymore, and you see the zone has one. I don't even know what's it called, but yeah, you have the insiders and their basketball stars talking about boxing, and that just doesn't cut it right with me. For the Excellent in Broadcast Award, we have Mauro Ranayo from Showtime. He's it's not play-by-play, it's blow-by-blow. Awesome announcer for Showtime. He makes the fights so interesting. Showtime still leads the staple there, right? We also have Andre Ward, ESPN ringside analyst. He's pretty good too. I like ESPN. And then Timothy Bradley also made the cut for the ESPN ringside analyst. And then finally we had Jim Gray from Showtime. Started his career in 1977 in Denver, Colorado. And Web Boxing picked Jim Gray. What do you think of that pick?
I picked Jim Gray.
I picked Jim Gray just because he's been there so long.
And you said it was the experience, right?
Yeah.
Jim Gray has a lot of experience. He's on our screen right now. Great Showtime. And you know what? He doesn't take shit from nobody.
Nah.
He doesn't take nothing from nobody, right? He really gets in there, get out of the way. I'm going to talk to you. This is what I want. The girl on the zone really doesn't. I don't know, man. She just doesn't know boxing. But Jim Gray does, and we picked him because of his experience up on the ring, right? All right, moving right along in news, guys, and I think we're gonna have a lot to talk about here. How about? Here we go. You ready?
Oh yeah.
Jacob wins when Chavez Jr. quits after 5. Now, there's been a lot of talk about this, guys. A lot of talk. But let me just give you the inside and the meats and potato. In his super middleweight debut, former middleweight champion Daniel Jacobs scored a 5th-round TKO over former middleweight champion Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. at the Talking Stick Arena in Phoenix, Arizona. And to make matters worse, Chavez already was in controversy because of the drug testing. He comes in and misses the weight by 4.7 pounds. The extra weight didn't bother Jacobs, who had bloodied up Chavez by round 5. Chavez quit after round, citing an undisclosed injury. And I guess what made it kind of bad for boxing, I don't know. I didn't really care about it, but fans pelted the ring with trash after the fight. The ring legend, Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., posted on Twitter, commented on the condition of his son, and revealed the reason Jr. couldn't continue on Friday night. He says, with all due respect to the fans of Phoenix, Arizona, which where the fight was, now I disagree with you. My son was making a competitive fight and was winning. Well, I'll give to that right now, Lou. No, you're shaking your head. Unfortunately, a headbutt and elbow came, and he has a broken nose. He will now undergo surgery. Okay, let me start with you, Louis. First of all, Chavez was going to fight in Vegas. They let him fight because he
refused.
He refused to take a drug test. So now they move it to Phoenix. Was that all politics?
Of course it is, yeah.
Of course it is, right? Can you tell me more about it?
I mean, obviously they needed to make the fight because there's money involved, big money.
Do you think that's undercutting somebody else?
Oh, yeah.
You think they look bad? So then Nevada came back and said, wait a minute, we're not getting this fight, right? I was actually going to go to see the fight in Phoenix, but I was telling Herman, I go, no, you know what? Forget it, man. I mean, you see, what if Chavez doesn't even make weight and they cancel the fight and we go out there? And even though Jacob was going to fight Gabriel Rosado as the next standard backup for that, which probably would have been a better fight, as now talking about it. So second now to you, Louis, missing 4.7 pounds again.
That's no discipline at all. That's
he
so
looked
much.
cut.
Still, he didn't make the weight.
No
they have an
discipline,
agreement.
no respect.
So
Yeah,
we'll
there's
go
no
to Herman.
respect to sports.
Herman, what did you think of the weight?
It's ridiculous. But again, people are enabling this guy to do what he wants. He calls the shots, which is sad. Like, he's nobody.
And you know what? Sergio Mora was very upset.
Yeah.
Man, I thought Sergio Mora wanted to fight him or something. But he said,
He's right.
you know, we the people, we the fans, we the commission, we everything, we enable this kid to continue to fight, which is he's going to come back to fight. So he misses weight.
Yeah, and then those that he said those cuts and all that were elbows. It's clearly it was a right hand that cut his
Okay.
eye, and then the one that broke his nose was an uppercut. I've
Okay.
seen the fight over and over. I've rewinded and I've seen it, and he's just making excuses. And now what's sad is that Senior is making excuses
Yeah,
for
exactly.
him.
That's
And that's I like Senior. He's a very nice man. And,
Well, I mean, what do you expect? That's his son,
yeah,
man.
but still, he's disrespecting the sport.
yeah.
You're disrespecting the sport because he quit. So
He
do
quit.
you think do you feel the same about Amir Khan? He quit the last time on the ring.
Yeah.
Not as much, but I guess it's hard on. You know, Julio Cesar Chavez is like the Dallas Cowboys
No, he's not.
because either you love him or you hate him, and when he doesn't do good, they hate him.
I think most boxing fans that really like boxing and keep up with it don't like Julio Cesar
They don't.
Jr.
Yeah, I
They don't
can tell
like.
you that.
Well, because do you think that's because they want him to be like his dad?
He's living off his dad's name. That's
So
for
that they don't expect him to be like his dad. They don't like the fact that he's gotten where he's at because of his dad. I think they've opened up the doors and handed him the belt. Here you go, sweetheart.
Well, just like this one.
Yeah,
Right.
But then again, look at all the he was complaining about the elbows. Come on, it's a fight, man. If
Yeah.
somebody does that to you, you come right back and do it to him.
And then he
It's that
quits.
simple.
So then he quits, guys. And you said it's bad for boxing. I mean, people were very upset, and clearly Chavez had the arena. It was all Chavez arena.
Yeah, and then if you look back at all the fights, Mexican fighters are not known to quit.
No.
That's like
You know, and
they're
then you
warriors.
got,
They'll die.
you got to me in boxing, no such thing as a clean fighter. No such thing. You might say, well, Holyfield was not a clean fighter. You know, he did his little dirty tricks on the side. We all have to do dirty tricks
But-
to get that edge.
Well, let me ask you: do you really think that Jacob was a dirty fighter?
No, Jacobs
No.
wasn't a dirty fighter.
I think
It
Jacob
looked
was-
pretty clean.
It looked pretty clean, but also Jacob was running around the ring smartly because he felt
He was
Chavez's
there,
power.
Bigger. Yeah, he was
I mean,
a lot bigger than him.
You know, Chavez looked like a welterweight. I mean,
looked
like a
like-
cruiserweight. I'm sorry,
like a heavyweight.
like a heavyweight.
So,
I think what Herman's saying is a lot of fighters, because I've worked with a lot of fighters, you always have those fighters that have their little tricks, know how to.
Yeah.
When you're hurt, you got to do something to come back.
grab that.
Elbow and punch. Mike Tyson
Yeah.
used to do it all the time.
It's all like, you know, like I said, people don't understand that, you know, the one that made the best statement about fighting dirty is Hector Camacho. He goes, I'm going to hit you below the belt and keep hitting you there till the referee tells me something or until you come back and hit me. So, you know, if I'm gonna hit you behind the head or hit you below the belt and you don't do nothing, I'm going to keep doing it. As long as the referee don't penalize me, I'm going to keep doing it. I mean, it's boxing. You're there to make a living. You're there to win at all costs.
At all costs. And we're watching the video right now. You know, like you see right there, Chavez is having his way. Again, this is me, the fan. With Jacob, I believe, and Jacob is running smartly, right? And then he's throwing his jabs, technically good skill fighter. But you can see Chavez was hitting him, and he would actually push him back. Do you think if Chavez wouldn't have quit, he would have had a chance to win the fight?
Yeah, because he was doing okay. He was holding his own. That's what I don't understand why he stopped, why he quit.
I think he ran out of gas. He was already,
You think it
looked
had
tired.
to do with cardio?
yeah. I think all that trying to lose that weight just took it all out of him. But Jacob's a professional. I mean, he's a master. You can hate, people can hate Mayweather all they want, but he's a master. I mean, the guy is the best defensive fighter there has ever been.
Well, you know what? In the fifth round, with 33 seconds to go, it was clearly an exciting fight. We were excited to see Chavez come back, even though he had a weird, I don't know what was up with the hairdo. But then you see
that
Julio
tells it all
Cesar
right
Chavez Sr., he was so upset at him, but he was real critical of his son. But clearly, folks, he was winning the fight, and then he said he couldn't fight no more. Folks, and just giving him, again, giving the benefit of the doubt, Chavez was in the hospital with a broken nose.
It's a boxing. What are you gonna? You play football and they tackle you. Oh, you tackled me too hard. It's boxing, man. It's boxing.
I mean, a lot of fighters go to the hospital afterwards. Not
Exactly.
because, they go. It's just.
But you
Make
don't
sure
see
they're
him
okay
go
and
on
all that.
social media like this crybaby.
And he did go on social media.
Yeah, he went on social media. His daddy came out and supported him. Come on, man. When was the last time you saw a world championship caliber fighter come out on social media. Me pegaron muy recio.
Even
You know,
Chavez
elbow.
Senior was
Yeah,
calling all the commentators and he's calling them pendejos and
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
he was
called-
disrespecting them.
Yeah.
That's wrong.
So let me ask you a question. Do you think Chavez will come back?
I hope not.
I hope not either.
I hope not. It would be
It- it-
embarrassing.
it-
I don't. Think
I don't even know why people go and see him.
I don't
honestly.
either.
Boxing fans. It'll destroy the legacy of his father, huh?
But that's been destroyed. But the thing is that, like Louis is saying, they keep enabling him, and he calls the shots, and it's like, how can you let this guy call the shots? Who is he? He's nobody.
Exactly. So, nevertheless, it was exciting to see a fight on a Friday night, but then it turned out to be an embarrassment to boxing. The
Yeah,
people of
total
Phoenix,
embarrassment.
Arizona, and they want to blame it on. I mean, people throwing stuff at the ring is obviously not cool because you can hurt other people.
They keep Chavez on the cards because he brings a lot of money.
Yeah.
And we fought on a couple of cards with Chavez Jr.
Yeah.
And I've asked man, the people just go crazy, and I think it's because of Senior.
Yeah.
But he brings in a lot of people in, so that's why the promoters are smart. They're gonna bank off of that.
And of course, they're gonna probably get him another fight.
Yeah.
Right,
Sure they will.
he's probably going to be fighting in 2020, or who knows, man. I mean, like you said, man, he quit, and that was a surprising thing that he quit, right?
Yeah.
Wow, man.
And then he lost $1 million off the.
But he made
top.
how much?
He probably took home like $600,000 after taxes because
They said
he
it
made
was
$2 million and he
Yeah,
had to give
was
up
it two?
one.
Okay.
He had to give up one, so out of the taxes paying the trainers and everybody, probably took $600,000.
But you know, the reality of this is that Chavez Jr. isn't hungry for anything. He's just fighting because of his dad. Unlike his dad fought because of hunger. He had to pay those things. He had to live. I mean, he needed boxing. Chavez Jr. was born already with money in his pockets. So I mean, he's just a disgrace to boxing. Period.
Disgrace to boxing, and it was sad to see him go down like that in flames, right? Making other news and moving right along with the Chavez drama, right? And you know what? And I call that fight like a box of chocolate candies. You just never know what you're gonna get with Chavez, man. Canelo vacates the WBO light heavyweight title. We talked about it earlier. In order to comply with the WBO's prohibition against its champions holding titles from other sanctioning organizations in multiple weight classes, 4-division world champion Canelo Alvarez and the WBO have reached an agreement for Canelo to vacate the WBO's lightweight world title, which Canelo won the WBA title by defeating Sergey Kovalev. Canelo will maintain his status and privileges as a WBO super champion, including the privilege to be designated mandatory challenger to the WBO title holder in any division. Like you said, Lou, earlier, right? Canelo said, I know that my accomplishments in the ring have brought pride to my fans and my country. And if that's the case, why do so many people dislike Canelo?
I think he has a lot of more fans. I was reading an article where he has a lot of fans here in the United States, Mexican Americans that think he's the best. I have a good friend of mine that Canelo could do no wrong, man.
But he does.
But in Mexico, the real fans in Mexico, they don't like Canelo.
Really?
Oh, if you read up on Eric Morales,
Do you
Marquez, Nacho Beristain,
I'll put Juan Manuel Marquez, Salvador Sanchez, those guys way ahead of Canelo.
oh, you got Finito Lopez,
Yeah, exactly.
Barrera, you got
But,
tons of
but
guys.
how can that be, folks, if Canelo has accomplished more than them?
I think he's just been
Money
marketing.
wise, he's been marketed.
Smart.
Yeah,
Smart, but he's
Smart by De La Hoya.
yeah.
But when you start talking like, you got Ruben Olivares, all those guys were fighters, and you got this guy that's like El Llorón. He's like the Golden Boy, promoted by the Golden Boy, and I think like Lou said, they've Americanized him to the point of
Yeah, you're right.
and I mean that's what
Good. They know how to move them on
Yeah, they know how to
market-wise.
move 'em.
WBO President Francisco Paco Valcarcel said Canelo has already accomplished much in boxing, and he's still a young man. When his career is done, he will be regarded as one of the greatest boxers to ever step into the ring and one of Mexico's best fighters ever. We look forward to his future fights against his rivals in the top middleweight division, super middleweight, light
he has to say
heavyweight,
that
and other
because-
divisions.
He has to say that because he's holding their belt.
Of course.
But,
It's all
you know,
market.
And then you said one of the best Mexican fighters ever. Ask the Mexican people what they think.
Yeah, and that's true, right? We completely support the decision made by Canelo Alvarez in the WBO when he vacated it, right? Said Oscar De La Hoya, chairman and CEO of Golden Boy. Canelo made history by stepping into the ring and stopping Sergey Kovalev in an impressive fashion to become a 4-division world champion. Not only did he show that he is a real threat at 175 pounds, but he also demonstrated that he is fully capable of moving across several divisions to look for the most exciting fights for the fans. At the same time, we look forward to continuing promoting our other WBO champions such as Patrick Teixeira and Cruz Desarn. So, what do you think is next for Canelo at that division? Who?
I don't even know.
Charlos? Caleb Smith?
He'll probably take Charlo because they haven't looked too good lately. So that's probably who he'll target next.
You think so? Not a UK fighter? Those are or the fighters from Ukraine.
They're definitely going to pick somebody that they can
fighters.
beat.
Of course.
They're going to pick somebody they can beat.
Yeah. Hey, you can rest on that. De La Hoya's not going to go out and get his.
That's his cash cow.
That's his that's his cash cow.
Yeah, you're right. But nevertheless, Canelo brings the money here in America. He sells out stadiums, correct? And he was exciting to see Sergey Kovalev. Gabriel Gutierrez makes a shout out to you here on Facebook Live. You want to say hi to him?
So, Gabe.
Gabe's also another pro fighter.
Yes.
Right? I wonder if Gabriel Gutierrez is going to be fighting February the 15th. Speaking of February the 15th, Jennifer Hahn will be back. The IBF featherweight champion, women's champion, Jennifer Hahn, the sweetheart of El Paso. Great person, great fighter. El Paso supports her 1,000%. Should be back in the ring at the El Paso County Coliseum February the 15th in a non-title fight. But nevertheless, it's going to be an exciting fight, and it's a fight. You never know who gets up there on any given day. Anybody can lose, correct? So El Paso will be behind. Jennifer Hahn, be looking out for that, guys. Be looking out. Tickets should be coming out soon for February the 15th in El Paso, Texas. Jennifer Hahn is back in the ring. And Gabriel Gutierrez may be in the undercard.
Yeah, probably will.
I hope so. Gabriel's a warrior, man. I like to watch him fight.
And he's been here at Warriors Edge a couple of times, helping Andy Pettis and my
He's a
son
young
as well.
guy, but he's got that veteran sense of mind in the ring, so I like to watch him.
He says, boxing isn't the same. Now I go up to fight on Golden Boy and Top Rank, and you don't only face the judges, you have to fight the judges too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, man. The judges, right? You talked about Alan Lee Bird. The judges are horrible, man. Just like the Munguia fight, right? That was
They're always gonna side with their fighter.
with the sanctioning fighter, the
Yes,
WBO,
the promoters
fighters. Wow. Speaking of, I mean, I said Canelo's exciting fighter as a fan. Like to see him, and I'm gonna pay to see him. Not my favorite fighter, but oh well. But let's talk about the most exciting fighter of 2019. The nominees were Manny Pacquiao, Ryan Garcia, and Teofimo Lopez. Who did you have?
I picked two guys. I picked Manny Pacquiao because he's a living legend, and then Teofimo Lopez because he's an up and coming up fighter, and Teofimo Lopez is gonna be the future. He came up with Haney, Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia, and he just won a world title.
He won a world title.
Calmly knocked him out. Calmly was good.
Kami didn't look that good.
No, he's those African fighters are super tough, man.
He
And
didn't
knocked
look-
him out.
He knocked him out silly, man.
Yeah.
At first, Teofimo Lopez came to the arena like it wasn't. I really didn't like him, but it was a devastating KO of Comey. It was on Top Rank ESPN for the IBF Lightweight World Title. We're seeing it on the screen right now, and it was a devastating right that Teofimo hit him. Look at that, right on the button. Right, so Herman, do you got the most exciting fighter? We picked Teofimo Lopez? Who do you got?
I picked Pacquiao just on his legendary status and who he's faced, all his career. It just can go again. But the future, like this kid right here that we're watching on the screen, Lou's right. He is the future of boxing.
And Manny Pacquiao's on his way out, but still, nevertheless, real exciting, right?
Yeah, that guy. It doesn't. When he fights, he's coming to fight.
He's a machine.
Age is irrelevant to that guy.
Right, and you know what? And he has so much stuff that he does on the side, and still, man, he's like a train. It doesn't phase him out. So the most exciting fighter of 2019, I'll go with Teofimo Lopez as well. So it is going to be Teofimo Lopez being the most exciting fighter of 2019, and hopefully he'll stay so we can watch more. And hopefully, again, he gets handled right. He's with Top Rank. Do you think? They're all the same, right? Am I right?
Well, Top Rank brings them up pretty good. They bring them up slow. They know how to.
Yeah.
Bob Arum, he's old school. He knows how to bring up the fighters. I just don't agree with the money that they make.
Okay. Do you think we'll see a top ranked fight in 2020, Lou? I know you've done a lot of pro fights. I mean, what's the score here in El Paso, man? Any fights coming that you know?
I haven't heard of anything. Just
No.
February.
Just the February Jennifer Hahn. And you know what? Jennifer Hahn coming up to the non-title fight, of course, will be non-televised. I hope that after that, because after that, it's got to be a title fight for Jennifer Hahn. I hope they can televise it, man.
Yeah.
She deserves it. And I hope El Paso comes and backs her up, not just showing up, back her up financially, these big corporations here in El Paso, and make it happen. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, they put up the money for the venue and sponsorships. That would be nice.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know it's hard. I mean, it's a lot of money, but I mean, hopefully, or she piggybacks off a top rank card and they put her, or a PBC card or whatever, and they put her on that undercard again because she's a very exciting fighter, and we wish her the best.
She needs to get the plan that Shields used and take that route.
Yeah, and take that
Use
route.
that as her plan to market herself, because I mean, look at Shields. I mean, she's making a lot of money.
A lot of money, man. And so hopefully our best wishes, and it goes to Jennifer Hahn, right?
Of course. Yeah.
KO of the year is the next one, and I mean there was the great nominees, and it was hard to pick on the KO of the day. We had Canelo Alvarez versus Sergey Kovalev, the 11-round KO of he almost killed him. Virgil Ortiz versus Mauricio Herrera in the 3rd round. Deontay Wilder versus Luis Ortiz, 7th round knockout. Derek Chisora against Arturo Spilka in the 2nd round. And our finalist was Deontay Wilder versus Dominique Brazil. Herman, we're going to go with you first. Who did you have for 2019 KO of the year?
I'm gonna have to go with Wilder and Brazil.
Wilder and Brazil, yeah, and it was a devastating knockout, man. I'm gonna put it up on the screen right now. Why did you say that one? What did you like about that one?
Just because they're big guys, and you know that those big guys bring a lot of power. So you can just imagine getting hit by somebody at 250 or 60 pounds, solid like that.
Do you like Wilder, man, or he's too wild?
I don't like him because he really. I mean, I don't think Wilder could have gone, other than his size, with fighters like Tyson in their youth, or a Muhammad Ali or a Larry Holmes. They had too much finesse. This guy doesn't have no finesse in boxing. He's a big guy. I mean, he's tough, but he's like a bar fighter. He comes from all angles, and
He just has that one hit power. You know, has that power.
he doesn't have that smooth like a Holyfield. You know, where they fought and boxed.
Riddick
That's what I'm
Bowe.
saying. Those Riddick Bowe, those guys would have had fun with him.
What a right.
Yeah.
I picked Brazil also.
And Louis, going to Louis now, you picked the Brazil as well.
Brazil,
A good right hand, right?
That was nice. It was sick.
And you're seeing it on the screen right now. It was a sick right hand. He
Yeah,
just didn't get up. He was done. Right, look at him. He's still stumbling. Close first. Who did you got?
I got Virgil Ortiz.
Against Mauricio Herrera? Or no, Luis
Virgil
Ortiz?
Ortiz. Have you seen him? Virgil Ortiz is
Oh yeah, I
from
saw
Dallas,
yeah.
right? Or
Well, that
here,
guy,
Texas.
that kid is good.
But he's training out with Robert Garcia.
He's like the kid that's 18-0 right now,
Yeah,
right?
18 all
he's
knockouts. Yeah, that guy is.
good.
He's another
all
guy that's a
knockouts,
future.
Yeah. That's another. Yeah, you're
Humble
right.
guy. Humble guy. And he's
We were watching him the other day.
actually he fought
Very,
Caesar
very humble.
from El
Yeah.
Paso. He saw Valenzuela.
Oh, yeah.
Very
Oh, that's
humble guy.
right. So he was a close second in your...
Yeah, he was close.
Yeah, we're putting him on the screen right now at the YouTube. He really KO'd him, and we're going to see it right here. It was a vicious. Virgil Ortiz is an upcoming talent as
Yeah.
well.
And he's fighting tough guys. He's not fighting bums.
No, Mauricio's a tough guy. He's an old, hardcore veteran, tough, durable. And look at them, vicious. I mean, so that was the
he's
KO
tough.
right there.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Knocked him out silly. So he was a
fight.
close second, right?
Yeah.
But we picked Deontay Wilder versus Dominique Brazil. Mauricio Herrera just got
Watching
annihilated.
that fight.
That was a good fight as well. Moving right along for round of the year, right? You know, when I talk about round of the year, it reminds me of one fight, the all-time fight that I would love. It was Mickey Ward, round 10 against Arturo Gatti.
It's a good fight.
Holy shit, that was bad.
That was a good one, but also the one with what's his name? He passed away. motorcycle.
Oh yeah,
Corrales
Corrales.
and Castillo.
Diego Chico Corrales
yeah.
and Castillo was round that was fight of the year,
Yeah.
round of the year, you name it.
Unbelievable
Fight. The nominees for round of the year for 2019 is Naoya Inoue versus Nonito Donaire, which again, even that fight was fight of the year nominee. Andy Ruiz versus Anthony Joshua, the third round knockdown, or no, not knockdown, third round. Errol Spence versus Sean Porter, the 11th round was exciting. Who did you have, Louis?
I picked Andy Reese because nobody gave him a shot.
You too, Herman?
Same here. Exactly. For the same reason. Who would have thought that that little chubby guy was going to come and bam, knock him.
Yeah, and so we picked that round, and I picked as well Andy Ruiz. But you know what? We saw him the part two, and it just didn't live up to the hype, huh?
No,
You left it all in
that's embarrassing,
You
man.
left it all in the bar and in the kitchen, man.
I mean, he actually admitted it too.
Yeah.
I mean, he said, I didn't train for it, right?
The fame got to him quick.
The fame got to him
Too
quick.
quick.
And then he fought over there, but he didn't live up. Now, here's another thing that I saw in that fight. Anthony Joshua was very tentative, very
It was a boring fight.
boring fight. Do you think if he fights Wilder,
No.
Nah.
Wilder will destroy him?
Yeah, exactly. Or even, what's that other
Tyson
guy?
Fury.
Yeah, Fury will knock him out.
Even Luis
too.
Ortiz will beat him.
Yeah, all
I think
those
Luis
guys.
Ortiz will be a
Yeah.
good fight against
Yeah.
him. Right. Well, so let me ask you, Louis, what's next for Andy Ruiz?
I think I heard he has a fight coming up with Wilder. I don't know how true that is,
God,
but because they're both signed with PBC,
They're both signed
so
for
they're
PBC.
both gonna get.
he's going to get destroyed.
Oh, he's gonna get knocked out.
Jaime Palacios is watching. He says Reese. Guess he likes Reese. Roberto Trevino, Cuba Luis. What's up, Tio? John Silva, Juan Silva, longtime friend of mine growing up from school. He's also watching live. So we want to say hello to everybody watching live. So Reese is going against Wilder. So we'll see, man.
I heard that. I don't know.
We'll see. I mean, I mean,
I
what's
don't
next?
think that's a good fight.
I don't even think that's a good fight either. But this Wilder sells tickets, right? So round of the year we did Anthony Joshua, Anthony Ruiz. You guys watching? What are you guys seeing? Put your comments here as well for the end of the year awards that we're having here at the Web Boxing 101 podcast. We also like to welcome everybody from U.S. Law Shield, Legal Defense for Self-Defense. We also do the license to carry handgun course here at the Web Gym. So big shout out and to U.S. Law Shield as well. And a big shout out to all the gyms watching and everything and supporting the boxing venues here in El Paso, Las Cruces. I know we on my next podcast I will have the people from Crosstown Boxing from Las Cruces, New Mexico. I've always seen them in cards, their kids in boxing, but not only do they box, and Mike is his name. He does a lot more for the community. So look for that. Our first podcast back in 2020 will be Mike from Crosstown Boxing. He'll be here on the show. And another change for the podcast, folks, the podcast will be on Saturdays now. We're going to move it to Saturday. A little bit more relaxed environment. People can get out here more. And that's going to be one of the changes as well. But also, like I said, even our broadcasting, hopefully we're working to get it on the iTunes, Spotify, the show of boxing here. And if you can see, folks, even in my camera, it's kind of raw. I don't have the fancy equipment, but we make it work. I mean, we're talking about boxing. So yeah, that's why I like it. It's kind of fancy for me. So we're here at the end of the year, 2019 Boxing Awards from Web Boxing 101. Pro fighters as well. We've discussed the most exciting fighters, KO of the year, and now one of the ones is the upset of the year. Who do you got, Louis?
I picked Andy Ruiz.
Andy Ruiz versus Anthony Joshua, TKO 7th round. Our nominees were Andrew Canzio versus Albert Machado, Tony Williams versus Jamar Charlo. Who do you have?
I had Reese also.
Reese versus, and everybody had Reese, right? The
Who would
upset.
have thought that? Like I said, who would have thought that guy went up against a guy built like a goddess? You know, it's like a Greek goddess. He's going to stand a chance, and he did. He pulled it off.
Jaime Palacios says Reese for round of the year. Who's not going to have that as round of the year, or upset of the year, or whatever, right, folks? I had upset of the year was Tony Williams versus Jamar Charlo. I didn't know who Tony Williams was. He stepped up to the plate, and he did what he had to do, man, and he beat him.
Yeah.
He actually beat Jamar Charlo, and we're going to talk about it in a while on that. As a matter of fact, we're going to go right into it right now. But Andy Reese, TKO Anthony Joshua. Charlo TKO's Harrison. So they met again, and it was for the 154-pound title for the WBC. It was the rematch. Iron Man Charlo, right? Avenged his loss to WBC Super Welterweight champion Tony Superbad Harrison on Saturday night. It was last Saturday in Ontario, California. Charlo knocked down Harrison in the second round with a left hook, but Harrison not only survived the knockdown, but made it a real battle for the rest of the fight. The end came when Charlo knocked down Harrison twice in round 11 and got the stoppage with his follow-up barrage. Harrison, more often than not, controlled the center of the ring and was doing great work to the body, while Charlo was headhunting, and that's all he did the entire fight, just like Wilder. He was so angry at this guy. The fight was also about ebbs and flows with each fighter trying to figure out how to gain the advantages, right? It was a fight like inside a phone booth. Harrison not only erased the deficit from the early knockdown, but was arguably ahead through the 10 rounds. Whether it was for that reason or another, Charlo came out on fire in the 11th round, and with each fighter landing a left hook, Charlo's was the more damaging and floored Harrison and badly hurt him. Harrison would get up, but still visibly hurt. Charlo would only land another hard left hook to drop Harrison for the second time in the 11th round, but Harrison was able to make it to his feet again. It was Jack Reese called the fight at 2 minutes and 28th of the 11th round. Charlo regains the WBC Super Welterweight title with a dramatic and empathetic victory over Harrison. With Hurd and Munguia no longer part of the division, a fight with Julian J. Rock Williams looks like it's going to happen in 2020 for Charlo. So let me stop right there. Lou, I'm going to go with you.
First of all, that was a good fight.
The second one.
Yes, the second one. I think Harrison was winning.
Okay, so in the 11th round, the judges had Charlo winning. Two of them had him winning. I don't think so.
I
thought Harrison was winning the whole fight.
Yeah, he was winning the whole fight.
But two judges had Charlo winning.
Yeah, because Charlo's with PBC.
So it's politics then.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mando Montes is watching as well. You know Mando?
Yeah, I know Mando.
Crazy Mando. He's a good guy. He's another big boxing fan, right?
Yeah.
Mando, a shout out to you, my friend.
Oh.
So going back to Charlo, I had him winning, so it's all politics. There goes the judges again.
Yeah, he was winning, and he started getting cocky. And
Did you see the fight, Herman?
Which one?
The Charlo and
No.
So in the fight, Harrison is winning because he's boxing him. Great skilled fighter. I think Harrison looked better than the last time. He starts showboating, big time, and I'm going to put it up on the screen here for you guys to watch. He starts showboating.
That's where he messed up.
Well, why did he mess up there, Louis?
Because he didn't stay focused. He should have stood focused.
He didn't stay focused.
He thought, I'm already ahead. I'm going to...
He pulled a De La Hoya. What was that other? De La
Trinidad.
Hoya. Trinidad.
De La Hoya's winning the whole fight. And
Well, I mean, there was so much black blood coming in. What's up, Louis? There was so much.
Is Mando Montes making comments? Merry Christmas, Mando.
Tell him he's right there. He
up,
says,
Mando?
"What's up, Louis? What's up, Trevino?
What's up, Mando?"
What's up, Mando?" Yeah, he's watching you right now.
All right.
He's another big boxing fan, huh?
Yeah, he knows his boxing, man. He follows it pretty well. He's funny.
Oh, he says not you, Herman. I just can't say the word he put.
Okay, I don't
Because
say it.
I'm gonna get on YouTube jail.
I know what he said.
He says no to beep, Herman.
Yeah.
Here's the laugh,
Yeah. I'm surprised he didn't say es todo.
and he's laughing his ass off. So there was a lot of blood coming into this fight.
That's Charlo, right?
That was Charlo and Harrison. This guy, and when it said headhunting, this guy wanted to beat the living daylights. And on the other hand, Detroit's own Harrison was very cool and collective, and he fought a very good fight. Am I right?
Yeah, he did good.
Harrison also founded Superbad Fitness, and it's a tutoring center for kids. You know, these fighters do a lot of good stuff for people out there, right? But Harrison fought very good, but he started showboating, and that's what probably, like Louis said, that's what damaged him, huh?
Yeah.
What round was it?
The 11th round where he got dropped, I think, twice.
But that's when he was he said he was dancing. I didn't see this fight.
He started clowning and just, look.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, he started clowning, dancing around, looking at the broadcasters, announcer, whatever the coaches. But he had the great stick to that jab. He was frustrating Charlo. He was actually winning the fight, and he lost focus. and guess what? He gets knocked down, and that was bad. Round 11 also looked to be almost horrible for Harrison, right? As we saw the screen right there, we're watching the screen here.
That's when he.
The left hook dropped
I don't like
Harrison
that,
for the
man.
second time in the 11th round. We're watching the 11th round. Harrison was able to make it to his feet again. But Jack Reese, the veteran, crafty veteran ref, called the end to the bout. Look at him. See, stumbled him. Called the end to the fight. And that was over. And also, when he stopped the fight, Harrison actually argued the fight. That why did they stop the fight? But he was clearly, he was done. I think after that punch right there, he was done. Yeah. Am I right, Louis? What did
I
you think?
think he was hurt.
He was hurt.
Yeah,
With that knockdown,
Yeah, he's not defending himself
No.
anymore. So.
And then right there, Reese thought he called the fight. Harrison is celebrating, and one of the officials gets up on the ring, as you see right there, right? Because I thought Reese stopped the fight. The way he did his mannerism with his hands,
should've.
then right there, he
Should've
stops the
stopped
fight. Right there, it's over. And Harrison really doesn't appreciate that it stopped the fight. So, Jamar Charlo said, newly recrowned WBC Super Welterweight Champion, avenged his loss. Tony had a plan and stuck to it. He fought a tough fight. I knew he had to step up. The scorecards at the time of the stoppage, Louis, was 96-93, Herman. 96-93 for Charlo. Two judges had him on top, and 95-94 for Harrison. So even if it would have gone the distance,
Yeah,
it was going to be
Charlo's
very hard that Harrison would beat him. Do you think because he's just an exciting fighter and he sells tickets and he's with PBC?
Yeah, I think they're gonna, like I said earlier, they're gonna watch over their own fighters,
Well,
and they have to have their fighters have the title so that they can.
believe it or not, folks, there's talks of the third fight already between them both.
I don't think anybody wants to see that.
And they wanted it on pay-per-view. I don't think
Look
so.
at that. Remember that fight? I mean, it's been a couple years. Alexander and Ortiz, when they made it a draw, I think. And Ortiz and Devon Alexander clearly beat Ortiz, and
Because I'll box them.
Yeah, boxed him.
yeah.
Well, folks, we're inching closer for Fight of the Year and Fighter of the Year. In our podcast, we'd like to welcome everybody here to Web Boxing 101 in our last broadcast show of 2019. We're going to say right now who is the world's best fighter right now in 2019, regardless of the weight classes. And this is credits to ESPN's latest top 10. And I'm going to give you the top 10 right now, starting from number 10. All right. Number 10 is Manny Pacquiao. All right. He made the top 10 right now. Best pound for pound fighter. Right. The last fight, as we all saw, was a split decision against Keith Thurman. Welterweight 62-2. Now, remember this, that the rankings are based on a descending point system, with a first place vote receiving 10 points, second place vote receiving 9 points, and so on. A tie goes on to the fighter with the highest ranking, and how ESPN does it with his analysts, Max Kellerman, Timothy Bradley, Andre Ward, Joe Tessitore, all these guys are the ones that are. So ESPN is a real credible source for me. I don't know what you guys think, but for me, it's real credible. So number 9, top 10 was Deontay Wilder, a heavyweight, made it to the end of the 2019 year. The heavyweight title the last fight was against Luis Ortiz. The next fight is coming up February the 22nd against Tyson Fury. You think he's going to get this one? It was a draw, the last one, right?
I think Fury won the first one.
Yeah, you think Fury won? What about you? You think the Fury won the first one, Herman?
Yeah. I like Fury.
But he got knocked down.
He still got up and won that round.
He won the round, right?
What a fight.
So February the 22nd, that'll be the next fight for both of them. Number 8 is the exciting junior bantamweight champion. He scheduled a fight, Khalid Yafid, and he's 40-3, and he's the Mexican champion, Juan Francisco Estrada. Very exciting fighter, eager to see him, and very well-deserved top 10 nominee, right?
Yeah.
Not nominee, he just made the top 10 for ESPN. Number 7, Triple G. Gennady Golovkin, middleweight title. He's scheduled to fight Camille Sarameta. Right? I don't know who this fighter is, but he's scheduled a fight to be announced. When the date is, we don't know. But Gennady Golovkin, number 6, is this exciting fighter that I was talking about that just made up to heavyweight, Usyk.
Usyk. Yeah,
Right? And he was at the fight there.
He's Triple G's teammate. Was his teammate.
Was his teammate. Now he's just made heavyweight. He defeated Chaz Witherspoon.
Yeah.
I mean, horrific. I mean, he knocked him down pretty good. So Usyk wants to fight Anthony Joshua. Eddie Hearn said there's no way. He's a heavyweight. Do you think that'll be a possibility for Usyk in the heavyweight
They're going to
division?
protect Joshua for a while.
Do
Well,
you
yeah.
think? Do you think Usyk is too small?
He's too small, but he's strong.
He's a
a fighter.
very strong fighter, but
Yeah,
you
I
think
don't
his size will hurt him?
Against like Tyson Fury and all these other guys, I think so.
Wilder?
But I don't think about it. I don't think with AJ.
No. Man, they're gonna protect this guy even the way he looked, man. Number 5 is Earl Spence. What do you guys think of Earl Spence?
He's good.
He's good.
He's good, huh? And can't wait to see him
how he
back.
comes back.
He defeated Sean Porter September 28. And then rounding out the last 5 is Nayu Inoue, which is he's a bantamweight. He last fight Nonito Donaire, which was considered to be one of the rounds of the year and fight of the year. It was a hell of a fight. Nonito came back and fought his ass off.
That was a good fight. I
Very
watched
good
it.
fight.
You have to watch that fight like at 5 a.m. because it took place in
Exactly.
Japan. Yeah.
Exactly. It was a unanimous decision, right?
Yeah, it was a good fight.
Very good fight. And if you haven't seen it, guys, it's a very good fight. He made 4. Number 3 is Canelo Alvarez, right? Again, defeats the middleweight champion, super middleweight regular titleist, whether you agree or not. All right, I'm going to tell you because look at what I have on the list. And they missed some people there. Number 2 is Terence Crawford. I think Terence Crawford should have been more down on the list. I really don't. I like Terence Crawford as a fan. I'm talking about I'm a fan, but I don't think he would have made the top 2, man. I mean, who has he fought, Louis?
Yeah.
Yeah. Gamboa, smaller guy.
I mean,
But he needs to step
Amir
it up.
Khan.
Yeah, I want to. Yeah.
I mean, I think they've sheltered Terence Crawford. I don't know, man. I mean, he's next fight in 2020.
I mean, I don't know how true it is. Like that, Errol Spence and Sean Porter, Thurman, they don't want to fight him. Danny Garcia. That's what they say. That they, everybody calls him out, yet nobody's signing the contract to fight him. So
True. I mean, and Crawford has made it public that you know what, I'm here, man, for the taking. Come and get me. Number 1. Any guesses?
Lomachenko.
Herman, what do you think made number 1 list?
You had to go with Luke.
Yeah, of course.
That guy.
Vasily Lomachenko. Last
I like
fight
that
was
guy.
August 31st. He is a unified champion lightweight. Okay, I like him. He made the top 10, but he's only had 15 fights.
Yeah, I want to see him
So-
fight Mikey Garcia.
So do you think
Tough.
that deserves the top 10?
Well, it's in the year, right?
Yeah, in the year. I mean, that's the last pound for pound. Maybe next week will be the same as well. Other receiving votes that didn't make the top 10 was Mikey Garcia, Arthur Beterbiev, which was another good possible opponent for Canelo,
Yeah,
Josh Taylor, Oscar Valdez, Sor Rigonview, is he from Korea or Japan?
he's good.
Very good. Miguel Berchet,
But Chet's good too. He's
Oh,
a
yeah.
champion.
he's a champion.
Yeah,
It's another.
Leo Santa Cruz, very good. I wish he would have made that top 10.
yeah.
Sean Porter, Teofimo Lopez, and then Anthony Joshua. Those were other receiving votes on the point system in ESPN top 10 best pound for pound fighters right now. And I have copies for you guys. I'm sorry. Let's go to fight of the year. These are the nominees. Nayu Inu versus Nonito Donaire. Unanimous decision, right to him. Earl Spence versus Sean Porter. Manny Pacquiao versus Keith Thurman. And Gennady Golovkin versus Sergey Derevchenko. Who do you have, man?
I picked Manny Pacquiao.
Keith Thurman.
Yeah,
Same here.
Let
was
me
a good
let me
fight.
let me go with you, Thurman. Why did you pick the Manny Pacquiao Keith Thurman fight?
Just because I thought Thurman was gonna take him, because I was like his age and all that, but like again, Manny's he's just at a whole different level, and he proved him, and he humbled him because at first he was talking a lot. Thurman was blasting him, but at the end, I respect the way he handled the loss. He didn't make excuses. He didn't bring his dad to make excuses for him. He said, "You know what? The better man beat me. He was better. He took it like a champion, man."
Louis?
I picked Manny Pacquiao. He was too smart for him.
Yeah.
And even though Thurman had the size advantage, stronger, the youth, Manny Pacquiao took him to school.
You know what? For me, it was that fight, Manny Pacquiao, Keith Thurman, but because it was sweet to watch Manny Pacquiao, to watch him annihilate Keith Thurman after all the shit talking he did, and kind of disrespected him. I know there's got to be some shit talking to sell tickets. It's healthy for boxing, but not to disrespect a legend like that.
Yeah.
I would be careful where I thread, man. You know, these guys have paved the way for guys like Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman walked even from the get-go. I mean, it was distasteful.
Yeah.
And it was just a mere disrespect. It was as bad as Julio Cesar Chavez quitting. For me, it made it fight of the year because it was exciting. The runner-up for me, guys, was the Earl Spence Sean Porter. It was a very good fight, but then again, Nonito United fight was pretty good.
I like the Donaire.
Donaire fight, it was good, and we thought that Donaire was done, but he's
Because when Donaire was on top, I don't know if you read the story. When Donaire was on top, he was working with that kid, the one that beat him.
and it's hard to say. It's Nayoa Inoue.
And they showed a picture of Donaire showing him, and he's a kid. And then fast forward, 2019, and he's fighting Donaire. And they have so much respect for each other. And I don't know if you heard the story that Donaire promised his son. Did you hear that?
No.
He promised his son, he goes, son, I promise you I'm going to come home with that trophy, the Muhammad Ali trophy.
Donaire.
Yeah. And when he lost, he said, do me a favor. He goes, let me borrow the trophy because I told my son.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he goes, I told my son I was going to bring home the trophy. And he gave him the trophy, man. And he took it to his son and, gave it back.
Well, that's a stand-up guy right there.
I became an instant fan man, once I saw that.
Of the other guy. And,
Yes.
and he's going to be good to watch. We need to bring him more to America.
Yeah. Once he hits America, man, he's going to...
Yeah. And get the right promoter, right?
Yeah.
So that was a close. I mean, there was other fights that didn't make the list, guys.
This guy doesn't impress me right here.
Ryan Garcia.
Yeah, not at all.
We're watching the Ryan Garcia from Victorville, California, USA. Another one of Golden Boy's fighters. I like Ryan Garcia because he looks like Danny.
He does.
And he's coming up with Virgil Ortiz, with Teofimo Lopez, and Carlos Valderas, another Olympian. I don't know if you heard. He just got upset. They knocked him out.
But it's going to be good for 2020, right? A
Yeah,
lot of
it's gonna
big
be
fights. Round of a fight of the year. So there was a lot of good fights out there, folks, that we watched and probably didn't make the list. Now let's round up to fighter of the year. How's that, guys? Fighter of the year, the nominees were Josh Taylor, Manny Pacquiao, and Canelo Alvarez. Out of them three, we're going to go with you, Louis. Who do you got?
I picked Manny Pacquiao.
Manny
hands down,
Pacquiao as fighter of the year.
Fighter of the year.
Because
experience. He's fought everybody.
he's fought
And
everything.
he's still fighting at 41. He's still fighting and doing good. He's not just barely winning,
He's doing good.
Yeah, he's fighting. He still has about 2 more fights, I think.
2 more fights. Who do you think he's going to fight next? Maybe Earl Spence?
I don't know. He'll probably end up fighting Spence or Crawford.
Crawford would be good, huh?
Yeah, it's going to be big though. He's trying to fight Mayweather, but it's not going to
No,
happen.
I don't think so. What do you got?
I circled it since last week, Pacquiao. And again, because he's fought everybody.
And you know what?
He comes to fight.
he
No
comes-
excuses.
He comes to fight, man. He's good for boxing overall.
Absolutely.
He's real humble. He did good, and of course, his work ethic speaks volumes. Again, there was not, and it's weird that we still talk about Manny Pacquiao to this date.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because everybody remembers
the
when he
knockdown
fought Marcus.
when Marcus just almost killed him, and not just that, Louis. Times are new now. You just mentioned the Virgil Ortiz's, the Ryan Garcias. It's a Canelo world now in boxing.
Yeah.
Manny Pacquiao's a has-been, and
He's still
Manny
there.
Pacquiao's still known in in all the gyms. He's still the fighter that he's to be, and I think he has 2 more fights. He'll fight probably in 2020 one more time.
I like Pac-Man because he's shut up the guys with a big mouth. Who's that guy from California that was trained by Garcia?
Oh yeah, Danny Garcia,
Brandon Rios.
Brandon Rios,
Shut
Beat
him
the
up.
hell out of him, and he beat the hell out of what's his name?
Margarito.
Margarito. He shut their mouths. I mean, just took them out, man.
Yeah, he's fought everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, so hopefully we'll see him again. I would like to see him fight Terrence Crawford. And you know what, folks? I think he can beat Terrence Crawford.
And whoever he fights, he's going to fight.
He's going to fight.
He's going to fight.
He's
That's the
gonna
thing.
fight.
You got to hand it to Pac.
And to think that everybody thought he was done after the vicious knockdown blow that that Marcus gave him. We thought that was the end of Pacquiao, and he was going to probably come one more time and get beat, and he was going to retire. I don't know, man. It's impressive what he's done in boxing, and I mean, I would like to see him retire on top. Which even if he loses, he is on top in my book. But Manny Pacquiao was by hands down Warriors Edge Boxing 101 Podcast Fighter of the Year.
Yeah.
Right. We have a little girl that trains here at the Warriors Edge, Kayla Delgado, that Manny Pacquiao actually invited her to train, and she was up there for a week or two.
Yeah.
Kayla, and she trains here with us now. Herman, you're the coach. Louis Trevino's the coach as well for her.
Good kid.
Good kid. We're going to be debuting her.
January 11th.
January 11th has 0 fights, 0 amateur fights. And we're going to be debuting her in Las Cruces at the Slugfest.
How old is she?
She is 14.
She just turned 15.
That's right. She just turned 15. She trains out of this gym. We've worked pretty hard, man, so it's going to be very good to see her debut. Warriors Edge is going to debut. And like I said, man, Warriors Edge is always having some good fighters. We lose some and we gain some, but we're blessed to have her. She actually trained with Manny Pacquiao. You see, so we'll be looking out for in Las Cruces at the PAL, January 11th. Hopefully we get out there as well. Yeah, good luck to Kayla and all the kids out there. We like to give a shout out to Louis Burke and his wife Alicia, but she's putting these fights together. Yep. Every time we go to Cruces, they treat us pretty damn good.
Yeah,
exactly. Pretty damn good. They're good people up in Las Cruces. And in future podcasts, my next one will be Mike from Crosstown Boxing. He will be on the show. We want to focus more also on amateur boxing. I want to see what's up with that, and just overall, what's going to happen in 2020 for amateur boxing. The new staple of votes and what I mean is, the structure of the USA Boxing, our local embassy, has taken place already. We kept our president, so we just want to make sure that let's see what's in store for us as far as that as well.
I'm trying to convince Herman to get to the Borderland Boxing.
Right.
To the USA Boxing here in El Paso.
So Louis, let me ask you a question.
I'm already back.
Are you?
Yeah. I just got reinstated.
Folks, the 7th and speaking of 2020 and January 11th will be another good fight, but the 79th annual El Paso Regional Golden Gloves Tournament is scheduled for March 6, 7, and 8, 2020 at the County Coliseum. The action begins on Friday, March 6 at 7 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday, March 7th and 8 at 3 p.m. Competition is open to amateur boxers, male and female, with current USA Boxing passbooks and registrations. The weigh-ins for all the information and weigh-ins and all that, you can contact Frank Guerrero, 432-294-2645, or Mr. Junior Vicencio, 915-203-0493. Out-of-border region boxers may participate but cannot advance. Competition will be held in the Open, Novice, Junior, Olympic, and Master classes. Open champions will advance to the Texas State Tournament in Fort Worth, scheduled for March 18 and 21st. So, folks, come and support this cause there. Come and support boxing, man. Golden Gloves, the 79th Annual El Paso Golden Gloves. Before we close the show today, folks, which was the end of the year 2019 awards, we want to thank our panel, Louis Aguilar from Pound for Pound Boxing, which was one of the premier gyms in El Paso. You did a lot of pro fights. You helped me do some ring announcing. And also we had Herman Delgado on the show, which is a coach here at Warriors Edge Boxing, and he's also a former heavyweight fighter, which fought the likes of Vitaly Klitschko, right? Albert Salcedo. What's up, Albert? Valley Vidal's on the show, and Jaime Palacios. So our panel made the decisions on the fights and the KOs, so we'd like to thank you for that, folks, for coming from Warriors Edge Boxing. A lot of things at hand. Lou, you want to say some final thoughts here at the show?
First of all, thank you for having me, and I want to say shout out to my son in Germany. I love you. I miss you. Have a happy new year. To all my nephews here from Japan, Austin, Renee, Gilbert in Colorado, I want to thank them for serving our country. Thank you, Herman, too.
Yeah, Herman is our veteran as well.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Just good luck to you. Thank you. 2020 is going to be a good year.
And you know what, Louis? You say 2020 is going to be a good year. It is. Boxing's cutthroat. It's a cutthroat sport in all aspects of boxing, whether it's as a fighter, promoter, gym owner, just like anything, man. It's just so cutthroat. But you know what, man? It's it's good it's good to mend bridges, and our differences are upside, and continue on. I know I'm co-promoting the Jennifer Hahn fight with Golden Eagle Promotions, which is your brother. So I want to say a shout out to Tony Aguilar and his dad that he's running for, again, Constable. Got my vote, sir. And Tony, Golden Eagle Promotions is the promoter for the Jennifer Hahn fight, February the 15th. Warriors Edge Boxing is doing the co-promoting. So, Lou, again, thank you for being on the show. And you're always going to be welcome. You're going to come back next year?
Of course, yeah.
And you come back and talk more boxing?
Yeah.
Encyclopedia of Boxing. Again, like I said, Warriors Edge is going to grow. We're trying to get into the iTunes so we can have more people out there. And it's raw, guys. It's nothing fancy like other podcasts, but that's where it all starts, right?
And also, I want to say welcome back to my brother and Ray and my daughter Brianna. I love you. My wife, all my family and friends. I love you guys. And good luck to Ruben Ducero out at the Border Patrol Academy.
All right,
Hang
good.
in there, man.
Hey, Albert Salcedo just said, when are we going to start again? Ready to work? Hey, we're here ready for you, Albert. Come on down to the Warriors Edge
Big
Boxing
sauce,
Gym.
man. Yeah.
That's Albert Salcedo,
Sauce,
man.
Yeah.
Man, he's...
No sauce, man.
He's
tough.
amateur and pro. Tough,
great guy, man.
Let me tell you something about this guy.
I worked with him since amateurs. I told you a story about him earlier.
But let me tell you something about Albert. Can I say something, man?
Yeah.
If you look at an encyclopedia and you look up the word tough, there'll be a picture of this guy.
Yeah.
He's also served our country. He's a U.S. Marshal law enforcement.
Yes. Yeah. When I told you a story earlier, when he started off doing the Battle of the Badgers, and he fought, and he goes, I want one amateur fight, a real amateur fight. And we entered him into the Golden Gloves, and he beat Terry Green. Terry Green had a way more experience, and Albert did good. And he goes, I just want one pro fight. He was fighting these big. That guy never quits. He's hard working.
Yeah,
that
tough.
guy's awesome, man, to work with.
Yeah, that guy's tough. I mean, that's all I can say about him. That'd be scary, man. I'm glad he's on our side.
Yeah.
Yeah, sauce. As a matter of fact, he called me to try to. He's gonna bring his boys down here to start working out.
Probably tough as him, huh?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, his little boy is awesome.
Yeah,
watch out, man.
So man, you're always welcome here, Sauce. Come on out here and start working. And he said whenever Lou he wants to work with you. So. He's a tough guy. So, Herman, any last words you want to say for the end of the year? Wishing everybody a happy new year, but also what's in store for boxing for you?
What's in store for boxing? Well, I'm going to be back in the ring. Working kids, not back in the ring fighting. Forget about that.
Working out of what gym?
Probably still could fight.
Out of Warriors Edge Boxing, and I'm here, man. So I'm glad USA Boxing got me back on board, and just want to say hi to my biggest fan out there in the world, my little Shay.
Yeah, good, man. And we're glad to have you here, Herman. I think here at Warriors Edge, we bring the best of all kinds of worlds.
Yeah.
We started a new program here at Warriors Edge. Before I even go to that, but we want to bring different coaches on hand. In life we have speed bumps, and I want to say in closing, folks, in life we have speed bumps, and we encounter them, but we move on, and we learn from our mistakes because nobody is perfect out there. And you know what? People might be even complaining about the podcast and this is not working, but you know what? I'm actually contributing to boxing, and I think I am in a small way. I am. But you know what? At the end of the day, to all my haters, I still love what I'm doing, and that's what fucking is priceless.
Hey, you're doing a great job, though, man. Honestly, because
I love what I'm doing.
You're doing a great job because El Paso doesn't have anything, and I support you. We talk.
Boxing.
You're doing a great job, man.
That's true.
And you know what? People say that. You know what? Yeah, you know what? The way I am and all that. But you know what, man? It's character. And character is what you need sometimes in the political world of boxing, in the behind the scenes of boxing, and running a gym. Yeah. Character is important. So
if we could all come together in El Paso, man, El Paso would be so strong.
And
I'm like Herman. I was kicked out of USA Boxing, and I've been reinstated like he was. And
we need to. We need to bring back the people. And I think we will. 2020 will be a big show for everybody. And like I said in closing, I mean, Herman, we brought the coaches here. So I have all kinds of coaches, real coaches, going up on the ring and helping the people. But what I've brought in Warriors Edge is the parents. I want parents. They're going to be coaches. They're going to get certified as coaches. And people might critique me for this because I saw an article in Facebook saying that no, these people that have never boxed think they're coaches. It's not about that. I think it's these parents that want to be coaches here at my gym. they want to go up there with their kid. And what a priceless moment to just be up in the ring talking to your kid. Nobody, it's a father, and you cannot coach. There's nothing that's priceless, and that's what I want to bring to. Like I tell you, want to go up to with your son, just to get certified, get up there and talk to him. He's getting his ass beat or not, talk to the kid. I mean, that's going to be a priceless moment for you that you guys can share. So we're not only building champions, but we're mending bridges and strengthening father and son relationships through boxing and Warriors Edge. So that's the program I have, Lou. You're at the gym. We're not stingy. Yeah, we have our coaches. And at the end of the day, they're the bosses and the chiefs. But also, we want the parents to be involved with them. And if they want to, you have parents yelling at them. No, you want to do it right? Register. Get up on the apron with us. At least give us the water. But your son sees you there.
Yeah, that's how you learn.
And that's how you learn. That's how you learn, man. Not all great coaches have been football players. Not all great football players.
Nacho Stein never fought.
Never fought, and he's one of the Hall of Famer. So those people that say that, that guy never boxed or not. No, my son Louis never boxed. But you know what?
He knows this shit.
And you know what it is, Herman? It's his passion.
His passion for it.
To teach.
Exactly.
If you have the passion, you can accomplish it. And
we all started there.
I've always told him that.
We all started
there. I know. I said, you have that passion for
it.
And that makes all the difference
addicting
in the world.
And it makes a difference in the world.
And those make the best trainers, honestly.
Because you can have a guy that says, hey, I'm a coach, I have fought so many times, but then you don't have the passion. It doesn't do anything because it's not about you anymore. It's about what you're going to give the kid.
Exactly. So that's what we're going to try to do at Warriors Edge. Big things coming, folks. We'd like to thank everybody out there. I know a big shout out to my wife and my kids that without Warriors Edge, it couldn't be possible. I'm here still. We're still, and my kids are still here. It's a family, and we're bringing people here to the Warriors. So a big shout out to them as well. Lou, you want to say something else?
Hey, I want to give one more shout out to my brothers at Paragon that work at the Bridges, Colin, Falcon, Lucero, Duchesne, all the guys at JPD. Those guys do a great job working with these troubled youth.
Yeah.
Those guys are.
And you're a corrections officer, right?
Yeah, detention officer.
Yeah, that's again, thank you for your job as well.
No, thank you. I just want to send a shout out to them.
Good, man.
Those guys are great guys. Rick Varela, Rick.
Oh, yeah, I know Rick.
Yeah.
Good guy. Mando Montes says que le mandes un saludo.
Mando, un saludo, perrote. You ugly, bald-headed, green-eyed monster. And that's what nice words. I don't want to say anything back because I don't want him to take Tree's thing down. So, un beso.
All right, folks. We want to thank you for welcoming us. I mean, we want to thank you for joining us on the podcast. You got me all messed up here at the Web Podcast Year in Awards 2019. We will see you next year, folks. Next year. Promises to be big, like I said, for Warriors Edge Boxing. So tune into YouTube, tune into our Facebook page, and also, guys, just to let you guys know, go ahead and have yourselves a great year, safe year, happy New Year to everybody. Have a great New Year with the family. Stay safe, folks. Be careful. And like I've always said, before I even sign out, thank you for all my law enforcement people out there. All right, thank you for the job that you do, protecting us on holidays. When you're out there, we're home safe. Thank you so much, and anything you do in life, put God first. This has been our podcast. Have a great evening.